Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shri Ganadipataye Namaha. Hello guys, welcome to Idea of Astrology. So today we are going to start a series which covers basics in astrology. So it's actually not that extreme cold, but this is the only jacket that I have. So please don't make fun of it, okay? So why late? Let's get started. So today we are going to discuss the significance of 12 houses in the astrology, and I'm also going to tell you who is the significator of each house in Vedic astrology. So let's start. Let's start with the first house. First house represents our physical body. It is called Tanubhav. It represents our physical body. It represents our physical health. So how our physical body looks like, everything can be seen from the first house. So the significator of this house is Sun. The planet Sun is the significator of the first house. And now the second house. Second house is signified by the planet Jupiter. Second house is basically, in simple terms, we can say it is our bank account. So it represents our wealth, accumulated wealth, and it represents our tax-free savings account, and it represents our stock account. In India, it is called as demat account. And it basically is all about the accumulated wealth and accumulated money, and the money in our bank account, the salary that is deposited by the employer. It is second house. So the significator of this house is planet Jupiter. And then third house is called as Vikram Bhav. It tells about the courage, it tells about the intelligence, like the basic intelligence that a human being acquires. It is third house. It also tells about like the self-employment, because anything that we do with our own hands, it comes under third house, like the writing activities that involve like recreational activities, they all come under third house. So the significator of this house is planet Mars. And fourth house, it represents our mother. It is called as Matrubhav. It represents a motherly affection, our homeland. It's all the fourth house tells about the place where we are born, and the significator of this house is moon, because that is why in Vedic astrology moon represents mother. And then fifth house is called as Lakshmi Sthan. There are a lot many things which are represented by fifth house, but to focus on mainly anything which makes us feel good, it's all fifth house. Like I'm enjoying this ambience, and I'm having this drink, anything which makes you feel good, it's all fifth house. And it represents our romantic partners, it represents our children, it represents all kinds of activities, fun activities, which it's all fifth house. So the significator of this house is Jupiter. That's why to be happy and blissful in life, you really require the blessings of Jupiter. Without blessings of Jupiter, life will be awful. And now the sixth house is called as Dustana house. It is bad house among all the 12 houses in my perspective. Sixth house represents our diseases, debts, conflicts in the workplace, our day-to-day activities, and like lot many psychological problems. It all represented by the sixth house. That is why it is called as evil house, Dustana house. The significator of this house is planet Mars. And seventh house is also called as Kalatra Bhav, which represents our relationships, married life, and like anything like business relationships, like anywhere like two entities come together and they wanted to achieve something together, it all comes under seventh house. Venus is actually the main significator of seventh house is Venus, but some great astrologers say Jupiter is also the significator of seventh house for in females chart, but we can take it to some extent, but Venus is actually the main significator of the seventh house. And eighth house, this is very important house because it represents our longevity, like how long we live. Because if this is not good, It doesn't matter how much money you have, how good you are in relationships, you should have a very good longevity to enjoy all the blessings of 12 houses. So this is very important house. It represents our longevity, it represents our sudden events in life, it represents properties of in-laws, it represents in-laws as well, like wife's parents, husband's parents. It's represented by the eighth house. So or any unearned wealth, like the money that you win in lottery, it is eighth house. Any sudden events. So the significator of this house is planet Saturn. And ninth house. Ninth house is also called as Pitrubhav. It represents our father, like anything which is given by father to us, like wisdom, how to behave in society, all the knowledge that is given by father, and higher education, higher learning, wisdom that we accumulate in this life. It's all ninth house. It's a very, very good house. It is also called as house of fortune. And whoever has a very good ninth house, they reach greater heights in life. The significator of this house is planet Jupiter. And the 10th house. 10th house is called as karmic house. Karma house means that the moment that we are on this planet until the moment that we leave this planet, whatever the contribution that we give to this society, it's all 10th house. So how heights that we reach in our career can be seen from the 10th house. The main significator of this house is Mercury, planet Mercury, but great astrologers say that Jupiter is also the significator and Saturn is also the significator of the 10th house. But yeah, we can agree to that for some extent. But the actual significator of 10th house is planet Mercury. Yes, the 11th house. So the 11th house represents our friends, family circle, celebrities, the influential people that you see on television or on everywhere in newspapers every day. It's all the 11th house. And the gains that we receive from society, friends, the gains that we receive from friends, the gains that we receive from family circle, relatives, it's all the 11th house. The significator of this house is Jupiter. And remember, like, are you observing like a fact that anything which we value, like the second house, fifth house, ninth house, 11th house, anything which we value a lot is signified by planet Jupiter. That's why if you take your birth chart to any astrologer, the first thing that they see, how well the Jupiter is placed in the birth chart. That is the first thing that they see in your birth chart. According to that, they will give you predictions. So 11th house is also the very important house in Vedic astrology, and the planet that signifies this house is Jupiter. And the last and final house, 12th house. 12th house is also called as Dusthana house because it's a quite depressing house. It has many, it's a place of isolation, like the jails, asylums, hospitals. It's all represented by the 12th house. But the good side of this house is it represents meditation, spirituality, and whether you're going to receive your ultimate bliss on this planet, like not to be born again. Are you able to fulfill that, can be seen from the 12th house. Then the significator of this house is Saturn. Like if you observe like two Dusthana houses like 8 and 12, this significator of these two houses is the planet Saturn, and that is the reason why blessings of Saturn are really important to live a long life and to put efforts on to make this life fulfilled. You really require the blessings of Saturn. So that is why the both 8th and 12th houses are signified by planet Saturn. So that's it. We completed our first lesson in the series of basics of astrology. So if you like this video, please like, comment and share to any persons like who is interested in learning astrology. Thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.